All right, class. Kind of to finish up today, I wanted to just give you guys a few pointers and make a few comments on how our first week went. First of all, as promised, I have an answer on how we're going to deal with quizzes. I sent everybody out an email, so if you didn't get the email, please double check, and if you still didn't get the email, please let me know so I can get it sent to you, maybe make some corrections, make sure that our communication lines are still open, because I will send a lot of important information and good stuff through the emails. So, first of all, make yourself familiar with these rules for quizzes, and they are quizzes. You'll be able to take the quizzes up until the end of the week for which they're associated. For example, the Unit 2 quiz you can take up until Tuesday night when Unit 2 is over. So for the Unit 2 quiz, you can take it until March 9th. You can take the quiz as many times as you like until that point, because the goal is, as I see it, for you to be able to evaluate yourself and learn where your knowledge is lacking and then correct that deficiency. So this is not just an evaluation tool, but it's also a learning tool for you. Now, if there is some extenuating circumstance that comes up that is significant, not I got lazy and procrastinated, but something significant that comes up that keeps you from being able to take the quiz during that week, make sure you let me know, and I will let you into the quiz. I will consider it, I guess, at least, and perhaps let you into the quiz and allow you to take it within a restricted amount of time. In other words, I'm not going to open it up so you can take it up until the end of the term, but perhaps for a couple days I can give you another opportunity to get it taken. Now, the scores for the previous unit's quiz will be revealed along with the correct answers in the gradebook on the following Thursday. So, in other words, you'll take the quiz, it'll be due Tuesday night, and then as of Thursday, you'll be able to see the correct answers, see what you missed, and again, have a second chance at evaluating maybe where you went wrong and maybe where you need to shore things up. However, please don't take these quizzes as a team, as partners, or in a group, because you're just going to short yourself in the end, and you're really going to hurt yourself when it comes to taking other quizzes or other tests. This is an opportunity for you guys to learn. You're going to get out of this class exactly what you put into it. All right, moving right along. Try to post a little earlier and more consistently on the discussion boards. Some of you did an outstanding job this week of posting. As I'm recording this, it is Tuesday morning at 5 o'clock, and I noticed there's a couple of you that went beyond the minimums, and that's really what I'd like to see. Try to extend beyond the minimums. Try to have your initial post done by Friday, but definitely no later than Sunday. So in other words, Friday night it would be nice if everybody could have at least an initial post done. So over the weekend people can start responding to each other. It's also, earlier we can get it done in the week, the easier it's going to be just to pop in and leave a comment and carry on a discussion with other individuals. Find that initial posting, kind of looking up and formulating it, tends to be kind of the toughest part. So let's try to get that knocked out early. I understand it's not always possible, but certainly no later than Sunday, because if you're posting after Sunday, you're not really giving people a chance. Also, try to refrain from logging in once during the week and doing all the work in about 20 minutes, leaving your initial posting and then your responses to other people. Stretch it out a little bit. Try to make it a conversation. Those of you that excel and go beyond the minimums, your grade will reflect it. Those of you that do the minimums, remember minimums are just kind of average, so your grades will reflect that as well. And those of you that do below minimums, your grade's going to, again, reflect it. I grade on the effort you put into it. So it's not hard to get a good grade. You just have to take the time and put in the work. Make sure that you're using in-text citations and references correctly. I noticed many of you included a reference in your post when you had no in-text citations, and some of you had no need for in-text citations with your posts. So remember, you only need a reference if you're doing an in-text citation. There again, don't just leave everything out and go, well, that's easier, because if you are putting forth an idea within your postings or any of your writings, then remember, it's technically plagiarism if you don't give proper credit where credit's due. So just get used to it. It'll make things a lot easier, and I will keep giving you some pointers as we go along. Another pointer along some of the same lines is when you do your postings, or after you do your postings, check in after the Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have them all graded on Wednesday mornings. And check in after that, because I will try to leave comments with each one of your grades to tell you how you might be able to do better. Or maybe you did very well, you got a good grade, but there's some things you need to fix, because your grade might not be so good next time if you fail to address them. So keep that in mind. Make sure you read those and take those pointers to heart. Now, in Unit 3, we're going to have a creative project. So in preparation, make sure that you brush up on your APA. As I look at this slide that I'm putting up in front of you, I see I could have used another period and a capital I. Sorry about that. See? Even instructors make mistakes. Anyhow, make sure that you brush up on that APA and you're very familiar with it. Now, there's several files in document sharing or doc sharing in the online classroom environment that deal with APA and can really help you guys out a lot. Also, within the online classroom environment, when you log on, you'll see as you browse around, there's a Writing Center, Online Writing Center. Lots of helpful information there, lots of printouts that can help you guys understand better how to properly do APA. This term, I will be taking off a few points for improper APA. It will definitely affect your grade. I'm not going to be a huge stickler, but if it's not right, it's not right, and you're probably going to lose a few points on it if it's not right. Also, don't forget the ASC on campus. You guys can always go to the ASC to try to get some advice. Also, within the online environment, and as well as the ASC, you can turn papers in, hand papers over, have somebody else look at them. I always recommend using a paper review service, having somebody review your papers that kind of knows what they're doing. That way, they're going to probably catch mistakes that you won't catch. I know before I turn in my papers, I actually turn them over to my wife. My wife doesn't know a lot about APA. Well, at least didn't before I started giving her my papers. And she doesn't know a whole lot about what I'd be writing about in my classes, but she knows if something makes sense or doesn't make sense. Have somebody else give it the doesn't make sense test before you turn it in. My goal of telling you guys all this stuff and criticizing the online posts and such is simply this. I want to see all you guys succeed, not only in my class, but in any classes you'll take in the future. So, I don't know if you guys could hear that bell or not. I just heard a bell. But I hope you guys have a great week. Let's move forward, and we'll continue to have a great term. I will see you all next week.